Hi, I'm Mike Mulligan, and I'm a whistleblower. I worked at Vermont Yankee for 13 years. I spent most of my time working there as a reactor operator. I was in the Navy for 6 years. I was stationed on a fast attack submarine, the USS Lipscomb, for 4 years. This was a brand new experimental sub. It was a lot longer, and it looked a little bit different than any of our subs. So it was kind of, we went all over the world, and people were, the experimental type of thing, and then wondering what we were doing and being so different from anybody else. We had a lot of tension when we went all over the world. Anyways, so this is about back in 2010, Vermont Yankee installed poor quality safety relief valves. They knowingly installed poor quality safety relief valves. They failed after one cycle, and so this is the resulting cover-up, and then the inaccurate documents. You can't have a cover-up without inaccurate documents. So this whole thing kind of, I'm going to explain how they control the release of documents and information, and for a purpose. I mean, from a layman's side of it, you might say, "Oh, these guys are so stupid. How could they do this?" But from an insider side, this is a kind of a smart strategy of trying to control the information that's released, and kind of control what's going on with the public so they don't get too riled up and all that sort of stuff. So from my side of it, this is so intentional. And so many organizations, the NRC, the Energy was involved in it, and they accepted inaccurate and incorrect information for a purpose, and the purpose was so you wouldn't think bad of them and shut them down. This was an operational type of thing, or the continued plant operation type of thing. They wanted to preserve the potential of the plant operating, so they lied. They lied, dishonest. And I could go in and talk to you about how lying, sets up one employee against another. If you're lying, you have to have people who discipline other people for the lie. You got to use pressure to keep everybody quiet about the lie, and stuff like that. And the good employee with a conscience, right, that can't lie, or has trouble swallowing a lie, or telling a lie, this kind of a person doesn't get promoted and stuff like that. On the other hand, a good liar, the good liar that can talk sweet words, or not talk when he's to not disclose things, being silent, stuff like that. That's the guy that gets promoted. And so you create a chilled environment. You create an environment where you pit one employee against another another employee. You create an environment sometimes that ends up with these two sets of employees at war with themselves, war with each other, and they disclose like some of what I did was at war with other people at the plant. And you would leak documents in order to you were at war. That was the ammo, and you were trying to take out people and stuff like that. And when you get into this kind of thing where both sides are at war with each other, then they can't operate the plant right and stuff. And when you have people who do discipline good employees, to keep their mouth shut and stuff like that, it affects everybody, and people can't do their jobs. So, anyways, this is the outline of the tritium leak. And this went on. This was going on at the same time the SRV problem happened. January 2010, tritium in a well is discovered. February 4th, 2010, 775,000 picocuries per liter was discovered in a piping trench. The AOG building leak. February 2010, the Vermont Senate voted not to recertify Vermont Yankee. They couldn't be trusted. The Stark Republican Governor Douglas at that time found Vermont Yankee not trustworthy, and truthful. Candidate Shumlin campaigned in the summer of 2010 in the fall about Vermont Yankee. Some say he did, it was a close election, and the Vermont Yankee issue helped him get elected. So, November 2010, Governor-elect, candidate Shumlin won the governorship, and through that next cycle, he wanted Vermont Yankee shut down. November 2012, Governor Shumlin won re-election on a landslide. And so the next outline is the documents that Vermont Yankee and the NRC have to supply to public. That's the way we get to see. That's the way we get to see what's going on there. And I'll tell you that you get to see very little. They control so much information, and they can hide. They're so good. They, from the 70s, from TMI and all that sort of stuff. TMI created a lot of transparency the last 20 or 30 years with the Republicans. They've slashed and hacked. They hacked and slashed transparency, and we we get to see very little that's going on at Vermont Yankee. So that's the problem we have. A transparent plant like Vermont Yankee, where they disclose most of the information, all of the information. They're not afraid to disclose their information. They like the challenge of explaining themselves, and they feel confident in front of people who, like, say, the antis or people that don't believe them. They feel confident about explaining themselves, and they feel confident that the greater public will understand their side of the story. Those are the things that the components that create trustworthiness. You should trust a plant that is open and honest, and all this stuff now that's going on is the exact opposite of that. You get to see very little information, and you have to think about this thing in what you knew. What we knew is this information when it was beginning. In 2010, very little information was shown, and in the beginning, and then at the end we know a lot of information, and you've seen this through two eyes. And so 2002, the threaded seals were manufactured. These are the components that leaked. 2008, the SRVs arrived on site, the safety relief valves. The old safety relief valves were obsolete. They didn't have the repair parts for it. And so they brought on new SRVs, and they knowingly didn't have the right SRVs, the right quality SRVs, and they installed it anyways. For the heck, because I don't know, but why they couldn't get the good stuff, but they didn't. May 2002, there was a refueling outage. That's when they discovered the SRVs were leaking. September 25th, 2010, that's the event date for LER. That's the first report to us, 2010-002. December 22nd, 2010, that's the report date for the LER, 2010-002. Notice that from April to September and December 2010, there's a long period that's screaming cover-up. There was a cover-up going on. This was a cover-up. They were withholding information, and they were saying they were sending stuff to contractors and internal deliberations and stuff like that. And that's the cover-up. April 29th, 2011, that's the first inspection report. That's 2011-002. March 1st, 2011, that's an update to that first LER, 2010-02-01. That's a year later. They're still having information. June 2nd, 2011, that's the inspection report, 2011-008. The next inspection report with SRVs and SRV problems in it are October 31st, 2012. That was just last fall. Thank you.